Hey guys, welcome to a new video. I just wanted to make a quick video today about talking about what happens after you get your first sale. Now, this is going to be kind of an interesting conversation because I haven't really talked about this. I've alluded to this in the past, but I never really went too deep into it. Before we begin, I'm just going to set up my bot to do some following on this demo account here, and then we'll get into the actual conversation. So I have my bot here from a minimum delay of 30 to 60, which is really not that bad, and we'll go for 30 total follows, and we'll open up our follow list, and we'll go ahead and begin and now get into the video. So, as you guys may or may not know, something that I talk about all the time is how to get the first sale. But I don't really talk about what happens after you get your first sale. And I kind of want to talk about the two groups of people and what they actually kind of do. So, what I've personally noticed, guys, is when I'm doing my work on Redbubble, when I'm doing my work on, different merch sites and things like that, something that I've noticed very, very profoundly is that there's two groups of people. Almost everybody in the print-on-demand world who's actually serious will get their first sale. I mean, it's only a matter of time, right? It's a matter of months, weeks, whatever. It's a matter of time. There's one group of people that uses this as encouragement and they keep going on. And then there's another group of people who literally step off the gas and they stop. Now, you would ask yourself, why do you think they stop? What's the point? Like, what's holding them back from stopping? Well, there's a few reasons why, but unfortunately, the reality is whether you keep going and moving forward or you decide to stop. And by the way, I was just waiting for the first follow to actually happen. Now I could go ahead and put this in the front row here since we're talking about print on demand. But if you decide to actually move forward and get into print on demand, what happens is that you'll never look at print on demand the same way. After you get your first sale, like I said, whether you stop or whether you decide to keep going, you'll never look at it the same way. Because you'll look at it like forever that there's money to be made out there. And the reality is we as humans, we are programmed by our hormones. That's just the way we are. When something gives us a dopamine effect, like an increase in dopamine, serotonin, whatever, we like those activities more. That's why addiction is so prevalent in our lifestyle, right? In our lives, especially in the world today. So what really tends to happen, I'm not trying to be some sort of psychologist or anything like that, but the reality is that we know that there is an avenue to make money. We know that there's an avenue to escape our daily lives from, make money from, maybe even start a whole brand new life, passive income, just a new lifestyle. Well, the reality is that how common is this really? The answer is it's not too common. And the reason why it's not too common is because it's somewhat difficult to do. I mean, let's be honest. It's kind of difficult. And when I say difficult, you want to have like a barometer of understanding. I'm not comparing this to doing construction or hard labor jobs. Obviously, it's much easier. When I say it's difficult, I mean what's difficult about it is sometimes the monotony, right? If you're going to just sit there and upload every day with like a mindless kind of brain, I totally understand it's going to be hard to get through. Is it possible? Yeah, sure, it's possible, but it's hard to get through. The point is with that is that, like I said, there's a group of people who are going to fall off the wagon, Those people are the majority. The reality is those people are the majority. However, forever, the rest of their life, they're going to be plagued because they've opened a door that they can't close. And I've alluded to this before, and I've talked about this before, but when you make that first sale, that first win, that first, thing that happens to you, like I said, your doubts are confirmed, right? Your doubts are alleviated, rather. That's a better thing to say. They're not confirmed, but they're alleviated. You know now that this system works. You can make money off of it. It's not like a mystery anymore. I remember a lot of the people who never got their first sale yet always would comment on my YouTube channel and say, is it actually possible to make money? I've been trying to sell for 3 months, haven't got my first sale yet. And then those same people might come back later and say, hey, I finally got my first sale, thank you so much, etc., right? Because they didn't believe that it was even possible at that point to actually even make money on these platforms. Because after a while, you keep working, but you give up. You tend to give up. By the way, how cool are these designs that I'm looking at right now? I thought these were pretty cool. But anyways, After all that work, they finally get a design, and then for whatever reason, you could call it discipline, you could call it motivation, you could call it whatever, it doesn't really kick in, right? It doesn't kick in for the right reasons, and they just kind of neglect it in a way, right? Now, the thing is, during that neglect, there's a lot of negative emotions. I mean, let's keep it real. I've been in this position before. There are times where, before I even started this real print-on-demand journey, before I really got into it, I was running other businesses, and I knew that I could have made money off of merch, but I was too busy doing other things. And in my head, I knew that it was possible because I've already know what it felt like to make a sale, to make 2 sales, to make 10 sales. And I wanted to come back to it, but like I said, I just didn't have the discipline for it. I was working on other things at the time, and that was eating me up. That really was, because I wanted to do it, but I didn't have the discipline to do it. I didn't have a system to do it, right? And this is where I include the idea of systems. This is why I said yesterday, in yesterday's video, early in the morning, I said, if you have a system, if you have a logical approach to actually achieve your goal, you're much more likely to do it. And it has to be something that you include in your daily life, or routine almost, right? So like for me, my routine is, before I come up here on YouTube, before I make a video, I get my 60 designs done for Redbubble. That's what I do. That's assuming I'm going to upload it manually. If I'm not uploading manually, that's a completely different conversation, but that's kind of what I do, right? I have a system. Now, what I really want to get into is that guilt, that idea of, when you open that door and you don't know how to close it. Well, the reality is guys, this tends to become a character flaw, character trait. And the reality is that this is a character trait that you can either, beat up and close down. And this is for a small percentage of people. I'm not saying it's for everybody, but let's be honest, this does happen. Now, what am I talking about, character trait? Well, I'll explain what I mean. When I was in business, when I first started in business, one of the things that I would do is I would get really attracted to shiny object syndrome. I would get attracted to every new business idea. And I would say to myself, oh my God, there's so many good opportunities. And even Warren Buffett, he said the same thing, where he said there was a period of time, he said, the world has so much opportunity, I don't know how people sleep at night. Right? And basically what he's saying is, like, there's so much, opportunities out there, so much business opportunities and things like that. And I thought it was actually wise at the time to go after many different things. The answer is, it's not really that wise to do that, at least not in the beginning, right? It's good to just stick to one thing, move forward in it, be successful, etc., and then move on to something else. But in my findings, guys, is that these people who get their first sale and then they just kind of give up. They give up on the process. Really what they're doing is guilt is going to eat them alive later down the road, assuming that they just don't do it. Because they know that they have the ability to do it, but they don't. For whatever reason, they don't. And you know what? Honestly, guys, I've failed in so many aspects of my life outside of print on demand and outside of other things where I know what it feels like, and it sucks. And I'm actually trying to go back and fix those things in my life now. And all I could say is that, at the end of the day, we're all humans. But if you still haven't got your first sale, I'm telling you that moment is coming. But make a promise to yourself that if you truly want to do print on demand, that after you get that first sale and after all your worries or your doubts have been alleviated, have been calmed down because now you have proof that you got your first sale, make a commitment to yourself that you're going to stick to this thing. I mean, assuming you truly want to, right? If you don't want to, that's a completely different thing. But assuming that you're going to want to stick to it, you actually do stick to it. And there's something really special that happens, guys, when you do something that is difficult. When you do something that is difficult, it's something special. I can't really explain it, but it's almost like you gain more confidence in yourself. You gain more belief in yourself on a deeper level, not like an outward, in front of people kind of level, but I'm talking about like between you and yourself. And the best way I can explain it is, when I was about 2 years, 3 years into business, I met somebody who wanted to get into business. And he was saying things that I was totally, I don't want to say against, but I just didn't have the same belief in. Like, for example, When I was presented with certain business ideas because of my research and things like that, I was motivated to start. I was inspired. I was excited to start. This other individual, he was nervous to start. And he was almost looking for affirmation from me to confirm that, yeah, this is a good idea or something like that. And I was confused. And the reason why I was confused is because I thought everybody thought like me. I was an amateur. I didn't really know much about the world. And I thought, well, why is that? And that's where I learned the self-esteem aspect of life. And somewhere along the line that individual maybe have been put down, maybe have been, for whatever reason, he doesn't believe in himself to get to a certain level of success or achieve a certain level of success. And the reality is guys, is when you don't follow up on the promises you keep to yourself, when you don't accomplish things that are difficult in life, at least what I tend to find is that behavior carries out in every other aspect of your life. It's not just business, but it's every other aspect. Putting yourself in a hard situation, maybe with a family member, whatever, that carries itself out. Now, maybe the older of the group can resonate with what I'm trying to say here because they have more life experience. And even some of the younger ones who are watching this, who have had a very difficult life, please let me know if you guys agree with this, that when you make it out of a difficult situation, right? It doesn't have to be business. I'm talking about just in life. When you make it out of a difficult situation, maybe, just maybe, you'll be able to handle other situations better because you gain confidence that, hey, I've dealt with other situations. I'm going to be okay in this situation too. It's going to be rough. It's going to be tough, but I can do it. And I noticed that the people who push those feelings away of not going after the hard parts of life, not going after the adversity, not moving forward into that, and they push that away in certain instances, and we all have opportunities to either push the instances of adversity or either keep it closer to us. The people who push it away almost are going to carry that same behavior trait in every other aspect of their life. And they almost have this, and from what I've seen, I can't really explain, but from what I've seen, there becomes this habituation of standoffness towards challenges, towards accomplishing things, towards doing things that are harder to do. Now, this video is not here to motivate, it's not here to really inspire, but it's just to increase awareness that if you're in a position of challenge right now, I'm telling you, you can get through it. I'm telling you, you can get through it. I believe that if God put that challenge in your life, it's there to serve you. It's there for you, not to you. Does that make sense? Like, you have a challenge for you, not to you. And what I mean by that is that you have something that is going to, believe it or not, help you improve the quality of your life. You might get stronger mentally because it might be so tough. You might get stronger psychologically. Your willpower might go up. Everything, all these good characteristics you're going to develop that the world, the school system, everything else does not teach us. You're going to go through this hard time and you're going to actually succeed and you're going to push through. It doesn't have to be business. But I'm using business as an example because I remember when I first started, as a kid who started to become academically pretty good, when I got into business, I had the preconceived notion that I was just going to do good in business because I was good in school. But the reality is I was sadly mistaken. I was struggling in business. I couldn't figure it out. I mean, it was super, super tough. And this was when I was doing the white label brand, guys. And I took everything step by step. I started off, I figured out, okay, I can't sell on Amazon. Well, I tried selling on Amazon. I wasn't succeeding at the time, right? And like I said, I had no idea what I was doing. No idea. I had no idea what made Amazon work. I had no idea what an algorithm was. I had no idea what a website was. And slowly, I started learning. And I had to truly humble myself. I had to say, okay, just because you're good in the classroom doesn't mean you're going to be good in business. And the reality is this is a challenge you have to conquer right now because you're already too far deep in. I remember the cost of my website, guys, and the cost of the product that I bought overseas was all the money that I had. Didn't have anything more. I mean, for me, this was do or die. I had no choice. I had to make this work. I'm obviously not going to die, so what do I have to do? I got to do it now. I got to achieve what I set out to achieve. And yes, it took a long time. It took a lot of pain, took a lot of hardship, but my confidence grew from it. And every other project later down the road, I started to gain a little more confidence, a little more confidence, a little more, to the point now where I sit in this chair now and I say, you know what? Anything I put my mind to from a business perspective, I can achieve in. And there's different worlds now that I'm being exposed to. Like, let's say, for example, the world of hunting. I'm being exposed to a new world. As a city boy, I mean, you don't go hunting. That's not something we do. But I'm exposing myself on purpose now to new worlds that challenge me, that bring me outside of my box. Why? So I can keep myself humble and I can remember that, just because I'm good at one thing doesn't mean I'm good at everything. And I still need to learn from the best. I need to humble myself, need to get better and things like that. And really, the most important thing is that never break a promise with myself. And if I set out to do something, I do it no matter what. No matter how long it takes, no matter how embarrassing it's going to be in front of people, no matter whatever, just got to do it. And so if you're listening to this message and you feel like there's a challenge in your life that you feel like your life would be much, much better if you overcame, I'm telling you, go through the pain, lean into the adversity, and just deal with it for a little while. And I know it's hard to say that sometimes to some people, deal with it. And I totally understand. But I'm saying this not from a position of pride. I'm saying it from a position of friendliness where I've been right there shoulder to shoulder with you and I've dealt with adversity before. I know what it feels like. And there's a lot of things I'm not going to talk about on screen, on camera, certain types of abuse and things like that I've dealt with in my personal life that I don't want to get into. But I've been dealing with adversity since I was a little kid in different ways, psychological, physical, and I'm not even going to go into that. But the point is that all I know is that adversity, if it doesn't kill you, just like that song says, if it doesn't kill you, it does make you stronger. And I just wish everybody the best. I figured this message was on my heart. It looks like, it's still following. Okay. It looks like the system is still doing its thing. So that's all I got to say. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out. Bye.